Hey guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're jumping back into another Create Astral video. Hopefully you guys are ready. So I have big plans today, and on the docket list for today's episode is going to be brass. Getting brass, which is going to be a huge upgrade as far as automation goes, and allowing us to make all kinds of smart things with Create. So to get that, it does mention blaze burner, and it does mention where to find this. The pipelines will spawn blaze spawners in there, so we should be able to find a blaze spawner, scoop it up, hopefully be able to grab a few of these. I have several of them ready to be made up, and we should get started. As soon as we have a blaze burner, we can then use our automation that we already have set up just by adding a mechanical pump over here. Once we have that set up, things should be ready to go. Like, as soon as we cast out, we'll be able to actually cast. I will have to change the way this is functioning, but other than that, like, this is going to work. Let's go ahead and do this. We need blaze burners, and to do that, I just need some moonstone. Let's make our first few. So there's at least 3 for right now, and I'll go ahead and I'll put all of the rest of this away. So let's head back onto the moon. Also, I went ahead and made this, like, I didn't make it, but I had one of these from one of our chests early on, and I just enchanted it, and it gave me Soul Devour, which apparently multiplies the amount of XP that we get from killing these hostile mobs. So that'll be kind of cool. But yeah, so we should be able to find inside this pipe over here, we should be able to find something. Also, I do need to kill a magma cube. That would kind of be important. And I need to sort of hunt. I'm going to look around this thing and see if we can't find any sort of major entrance or anything like that to get into. Hopefully it's not going to be too difficult on us. By the way, getting in a fight with this guy sounds like a bad idea. Oh, but we might be able to do it. Oh yeah, we got this. Look at that. And then here comes the medium-sized boys. They jump so high. Fighting these guys is so difficult. There we go. We got magma creams. That's what we wanted. There we go, and dead. Perfect. And we ended up getting somehow just 1 magma cream from that. Oh boy. So I'm continuing to get around this thing, and oh, well, there's the spawner right there. How convenient is that? Let's hope that some blaze. I don't really need blaze to spawn right now, so I would prefer it if they just not spawn. Oh boy, I do have a shield, so that should help a little bit ease the pain of fire. I just need to grab a couple. Like, I can click these guys, but I can also just click on that to do it as well. But I do need to actually harm these guys a little bit. Because I would like to get a couple. There's one. I would love to get a blaze rod. How am I taking fire damage? Oh no. It's so hard when they all fire. That one's dead. Yeah, so this thing is way better. Okay, so we did get a blaze rod. I technically need, actually I don't need more than what I have. Let's actually get out of here before we die. While I'm here though, I might as well try and get inside here and loot what chests I can before heading back. I'll just grab what's cooking over here. I think these mobs though, like, we should be able to easily take them out. There we go. Oh, very, very, very nice. Now this looks like craziness here. Oh my gosh, there's copper casings in here? All of that work? That is awesome. Oh my gosh, large gears and everything. These guys are going to be tough though. I don't know. They have like a jump attack. Yeah, I definitely need to get back on those guys. Oh, and it's dark. That's not good. That's probably not a good thing either. Oh, he's there. Yeah, this is definitely a ranged ranged thing. The mobs from this is they're pretty tough. But man, with that being the reward, I feel like this is going to be super rewarding in regards to at least looting what's in here and trying to get that done with the oxygen that I have. Oh my goodness. And is there stuff in these? There's iron blocks. Just solid iron blocks. Okay, I will definitely take. And then on my way back, I'll be sure to grab the other ones. Oh, just large cogs. Okay. There's that. I'll take that. More iron. This is crazy. This is so good. Like, stay away from the wither skeletons. Okay, yeah. I'll be sure to grab the iron here and then make my way back. Through looting, we even found basic machine frames. Yes. Oh man, look how much andesite. Okay, so looting is definitely way worth. So if yeah, it's definitely worth trying your best to loot out those center structures and getting yourself sort of kitted up for that, because oh my, that is perfect. All right, so this is set up. All we have to do now is place down one of our blaze burners, and then we have to give it some sort of fuel, whether that's a lava bucket, or in our case, we are going to probably just use charcoal. And you can use a deployer to activate this, or we can just feed it by hand. And now I did shut this off, so our mixer is not going to work. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to reroute gears and all kinds of good stuff to get this to work. I was looking at different ways of getting material from here, and it does seem like there are some extra storages that I noticed, right? There's advanced storage. Let's see. Advanced storages. And we find these as loot. I believe it's these. Yeah, we just found them out in the open. Or sorry, basic storage units. These basic storage units. And they require machine frames and display. But we can use these with some empty cells, which is just tin and some rubber, and we can actually make a basic tank unit. And I was looking, these tank units, they will most likely be able to send fluid from one location to another. So why don't we just set it up so that way, instead of using these mechanical pipes here, we can just use those. That seems like a great idea. So I got this at least set up, and then the main thing I need to get is a filter on it. So hopefully, once we have brass, as you can see, brass should be converting here, molten brass. There's now a bucket of brass. This is going to send out the wrong thing, but that's fine. That's fine. We may be wasting a little bit of copper doing this process and a little bit of tin doing this process. But we should be able to now spit out the brass, making it so that way this should work. And only send out brass now. I believe that's how the filtered outputs work. So filtered recipe, as you can see right here. So let's get our brass bucket. I don't know if this actually needs brass buckets or is just looking for us to have gathered 2 brass. But there we go. So there's our brass. Make sure to click this on the filter. It does say it is applied to the bin. We cannot see it, however. I think it's a bug with Create in general that we cannot see the display, but it is there. It is there, and we can use like actual filters as well. But now, when we have those materials, it should just up and work. So I think I'm going to move these just 1 block closer, and let's go ahead. And actually, can we put this back in? Okay, so we can put brass back in. Oh, that's perfect. So let's see, that might be enough fluid here to cast out some ingots of it on that filter. As you can see, there we go. And then what I'm going to need to do is the same thing I did over here, where I give it a redstone signal of some sort, and then utilize a couple of hoppers to be able to spit that out. So just like this, we get the hopper underneath, and bam, we're ready to go. Look at us. We now have this. Now, some sort of block. Let's see. We can, I don't know, we can use anything, really. Let's just use a regular oak log for now. And if we set this here, then we can just use a lever directly on this. So a stick and a piece of cobblestone. will get the job done. Honestly, probably the most used redstone tool in my arsenal. So, as soon as we hit that, now it's going to constantly craft out the brass. And there we go. And we get ourselves a plate of shepherd's pie. That sounds absolutely delicious. So it looks like we can make copper gear. Not super useful for us at the moment, but yeah. What is this? Sweep your enemies off their feet. It has smiting on it. We get a two-handed broom and some nuggets of experience. I'll take those. And this is going to lead us into doing this, making these machine parts, which require dash. These are going to be used for making engine parts and all kinds of really cool things that I can't wait to get into, but we're definitely going to be getting into soon. Now, one real quick thing. I've never had this happen. I've never had this bug happen, but it, for some reason, is taking the cast in the automation. How goofy is this? I don't know if it's because something's locked here or what, but I've never had it take the cast. Maybe it is something to do with the lever being next to it, but I've never had that happen. What a weird little thing. To fix that bug, I just put the redstone signal above the faucet and now it works. So goofy. So yeah, remember these basic storage units? Yep, that is what we are going to use. Actually, yeah, they do pop off. Very nice. Oh, this is nice. So we're going to turn these into tanks. So here we go. Basic tanks. I'm kind of excited to see how this is actually going to function. And if it's going to function at all, because it may not. It may not. But this would definitely simplify automation down the road. So let's test it out on at least this side before I get both of them moved. And here's our tank. Oh, yes. Yes. So we can configure slots, but we need to configure the pumps. Pull in and pull out. And yes, so we pull from this side. And then we send on this side. Actually, I don't know if this side matters too much. Let's configure this. Okay, so yeah, it does need to be focused like that. Okay. And then I don't want it to be instant, but we can try at least one ingot worth. And moving this is going to be kind of a pain because it is completely filled with copper. Oh boy. You know what? I don't think these tanks can hold fluid. Like, it does hold fluid, but I don't know if it might be too much. I think with the filter in, it shouldn't overfill it, I don't think. So maybe we can just, to get the fluid moved over real quick, we can utilize both of these. I don't know where the other one went. What? After they're configured, did they just break? No way. So I might be able to get the fluid out from doing this. Plus, it'll be a good way to test, right? So we'll set this to pull. And then over here to push. And so this should be filling up with the fluid, in which it did. This is now empty. So I can drain this. I can get rid of this block. And then hook this up. Okay, so let's configure this. Set this back up and make sure that's set to this and this. There we go. And then this one, I'm afraid that I'm going to send all that fluid into here. I hope that it holds its filter. Yep, and then that's going to start trying to cast it out. So this is going to be a problem. This is where we're going to definitely have to use this setup with a filtered pipe. Otherwise it's just not gonna work. It is a good way though for us to actually get all of that copper out. Now that I think about it, we could just cast all that copper that's putting in back out for now, and then get one of these bad boys set up. Now here's the thing, I wonder, these right here, they don't have locks on them, so that really makes things a little bit more complicated, because I was thinking maybe instead of using this, I could lock it. I could lock the tank, but you cannot lock the tank to a specific fluid unless you just like leave a certain amount of it always inside. Kind of a bummer, but we do have this, which is nice. So I am recasting out the bucket. So I just put the 9 back in there so I can get the bucket back, as this is how we're going to set our filter. I figure like We should probably just keep the bucket around so that way we can always set our filter. But like that, there we go. Filter is now applied. I don't think this will work, but can these pull directly out of pipes? I don't think that would be the case, right? Right. I mean, we can always test. So here we go. Moment of truth. We just got to move the hoppers over and then we'll be able to test this out. We'll put copper on one side, copper over here, and zinc on this side. Zinc, copper. Make sure to get the fuel in there. All right. And then we just wait and see. Like this should pull and should fill evenly. As we see, we have it perfectly even in there. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. And this is not mixing yet because this isn't powered. Okay, so let's power that bad boy. It's mixing. It's mixing. Molten brass is generating. This does not pull, does it? Let's see. So let's say pull in from the back. It does not. But as you can see, it does distribute evenly, which is beautiful. Okay. So with that known, we can still use this instead of this as a tank, even though I like the way that looks. I don't know. I'm kind of liking this, so I think I'll just end up filling one of those and use the same setup we have over here. So, and just like that, we'll get one that's as tall as that one. Perfect. On an entryway. Like I said, eventually this will all be simplified and we'll have this in different locations, I'm sure. But for now, this will do. And there we go. And that should be pulling out only brass, as you can see. And then that'll, of course, make the rest of it, make more. And that's just about it. I think we can just cover this up by utilizing some of our cases. Actually, I don't have any cases on me. Andesite casings to just make this look a little bit neater. And there we go. We can also, decorate, I believe. I don't know if these can be encased, but normal pipes can definitely be encased. And it's actually the way that you separate these pipes if you have complicated piping networks. And then to fix this, that's going to be as simple as just adding this over here. Except I think what we're going to do is end up having a different seared smelter for this particular setup. And this isn't permanent either. And then to automate the pouring, again, I just have a stair up here. And then we should be able to turn this or power this. At least I thought. And it should send the brass into the... This is a repair kit. Oh, no wonder it's not working. We need to send that into an ingot cast. And then the ingot cast, then it should work. There we go. As you can see, it is then filling. And there we go. We have brass yet again. Very nice. And all we have to do is just put our copper in there with our zinc. And then this time we should be able to put in a bit more, right? We can do 16 and let's do 16. And that way we can just generate a ton for right now. This will be a good amount for us. There we go. And then that should start to fill up. And it's really nice that we can use these tanks to transfer. So now that we have brass, things get a little bit easier. We now have the ability to make ourselves brass funnels. It's one of these ways. There we go. Brass funnels. These allow for filtration. Oh my gosh, is this going to be so much nicer than all the other things that we've had set up thus far. So let me kind of clear a little bit here. Now that we have some brass funnels, I think it's about time we set up this over here. Some precision mechanisms. Yes. So I've got all the stuff I think ready to do precision mechanisms. But what I'm going to need is to set up a conveyor belt to have these running. And I'm going to try and use this sort of the same system I had before. Of course, we need to get at least one automation down or one process down. But I'm going to try utilizing the weighted ejector in a different way so that it doesn't get messed up. We are going to try and actually use a funnel on it and see if we can't do it better that way and keep our belt lines working. So now to do this, I have myself a steam generator over here, or steam turbine, steam engine. which is the same setup that we used over here. It's just all nice and hidden, as you can see. Rotating in just the right direction. You can always change the direction by hovering over this and scroll wheeling. And you can see it starts to change direction. But I want to connect a belt up to this. And so let me grab some shafts. And we can put a shaft here. And let's just go ahead and put the shaft right over here for now. And we can adjust this later. So we'll hook our belt up. And bam. We have a belt line ready to go. Okay. So on here, we're going to need 3 deployers. So I can put 3 deployers ready to go. And these guys are going to actually use our cogwheels and stuff. We'll set that up here later. But what we're going to use is actually the brand new funnels. So this should be able to accept, and we can do this without funnels. In reality, I guess we could always use crude storage. But I do want to demonstrate how funnels work, and we can still use the crude storage. We won't have to go through as many hoops, right? With this. So let's go ahead and place these down just so we can place in some storage. And then on the back here, we can place in 2 funnels. Now these funnels have filter slots, and this is very, very important because once we get one of these processes done, we want to be able to filter this, but we're going to need to get at least 1 precision mechanism, right? And actually one of these needs to be just a regular inventory. So actually, you know, we'll turn both of these into inventories. Why not? Why not? They don't have to be crude storages anymore. So I think I have some barrels inside of one of my containers here. I have chests in that one. Let's see. One of these has barrels. At least I thought so. There we go. Yeah, I have barrels. So yeah, the barrels will function as a nice large inventory. Now, the precision mechanism only has I believe, 80% chance of succeeding, and it's going to produce 20% scrap. Now, we need a place for the scrap to go, and that's where filters are going to come into place. But before we fully do that, I do need to get at least one of them ready to go before we get the filter going. On the other side over here, this is where I'm going to do things a little bit different. I'm actually going to place the weighted ejector one higher than I normally would. And let's just say that this spot right here, hopefully it'll reach, is where I want the weighted ejector to go. It shows green, so that should mean that it can actually go there. And then I should be able to use a regular funnel to get the items into it. That's what I need. This is what I think is going to change the way the weighted ejector works, is we're actually going to be able to use a funnel. So now that we have our funnel, we can go ahead and put that in. And so long as we have some stress, which I'll be able to hook these together simply by using a encased chain drive. So I think I can hook a chain drive into here, but I can't hook a chain drive into this. This is actually a chain drive, so I don't actually need that. You know what? We could probably just hook up a couple of cogs over here in the corner. Yeah, just to get that nice and working and get that ready to go. Okay, so hopefully this will prevent the conveyor belt line from getting all clogged up, because that would be kind of a pain. Let's go ahead and get at least one going. Okay, so we're going to need this. We're going to need a large cogwheel. So small cogwheel, large cogwheel, and then this is actually going to need dash nuggets. And so I should be able to go ahead and just toss this in. Let's put some random thing in these filters so that way it will not accept any items yet. We'll toss this onto the conveyor line, and that should function. Or not. That is so oh, these aren't powered. I am such a nerd. What is wrong with me? Yeah, get ahead of myself. Now, with everything in, we should be functional and up and running and ready to at least get one made. Goodness, goodness, goodness. Okay, so now it's going to properly work because they're powered, of course. And this will get at least one started for us. And there we go. There's the one piece. And now with it going into the weighted ejector, it should function a lot better this time. Now that it's actually getting funneled into it instead. And there we go. Perfect. Ah, now this conveyor line is much, much simpler. Now it is rather large, and we can probably simplify this It does seem like that shoots it all over here. I don't know if we could get it on this spot. But we could potentially push this over one just to save us a little bit of space. All of these things, in my opinion, I would call temporary setups until we get a lot more of these precision mechanisms and things like that. And there we go. We have ourselves a precision mechanism. Now, what I want to do is put the precision mechanism in here as a filtered item. That way, when it rolls through like that, it'll be able to be filtered. Now, I do need to use a regular filter and set this to a deny list. Actually, I don't know. We may need to set up a filter for everything. That is kind of a problem. Allow, we want to disallow this, but we also want to, let's see, can we ignore data? Ignore data. I don't know if this, matters, but we'll put that in and test it out. Now it should pick up, but for example, if I put a barrel here, it shouldn't pull the barrel in, or it should pull the barrel in, sorry. It should, however, not pull in anything else. So the precision mechanism should not go in, and nor should any of these variants. They also should not go in. So a way to test that is to at least get one going. And this is supposed to be able to pick up the junk. So we have another one running. And this is a good way to test this. Will it pull it in? It does. So is this called a precision mechanism? It is called a incomplete precision mechanism. And we might be able to filter that over here and make things a little bit easier on us. Let's actually filter this, and we'll add the incomplete. And right here, we don't want it to respect, we want it to ignore. And yeah, it says items match room regardless of their attributes. And put that in, and let's test. And as you can see, it does go through, meaning we should have it completely filtered out right as the sun sets. And there you have it. We have precision mechanisms up and ready to go, and these are going to be used primarily early on for making the mechanical crafters that we're going to need for some of the high tier conveniences, I guess that you could say we're going to be getting into. There are a lot of cool things and contraptions that we can get. I really want a flight of the ability to fly. That is going to be fantastic. And well, now that we have brass, boy, our life just got a little bit easier. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the exploration. If you did, be sure to click that subscribe button, and of course, comment something down below and give this video a huge thumbs up if you did enjoy. Guys, I really appreciate it. I thank you guys for watching, and of course, it is time to thank the supporter of today's video. And that, my friends, is going to be a huge thanks going to Psycho8X. Thank you so much for your amazing support, by the way, over on the Discord, becoming a Discord premium member, and of course, guys, supporting one of the best ways possible. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.